Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Alexis Richer.
And I'm Abby Garrett. Thanks once again for making us a part of your day for the news we've been following for you.
Seemingly, every time he has something to say, it makes news and causes people to take hardline stands. Such was the case when Donald Trump, the Republican presidential frontrunner's statement Monday advocating a, quote, total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States, end quote, was blasted as bigoted, unconstitutional, and potentially dangerous for American interests abroad. Trump's campaign has been marked by inflammatory statements dating back to rhetoric that some Mexican immigrants who entered the country illegally are drug smugglers and rapists. But even that didn't evoke the same widespread level of contempt. Trump, who appears to revel in the attention, didn't back down from his proposal.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. We have no choice. We have no choice.
The crossfire between Trump and frustrated Republicans became a media blur the day after the billionaire businessman announced his plan. Beleaguered 2016 rivals condemned his proposal and complained that his divisive positions were dominating attention in the crowded Republican contest. Party elders, meanwhile, warned that too much criticism might indeed push him to launch a third-party bid that could hand the presidential election to the Democrats. And Republicans up for re-election in the Senate grew terse in the Capitol hallways as they were asked again and again to respond to Trump's remarks, a glimpse of their political futures if the former reality show star captures the GOP nomination.
The way the nation's public schools are evaluated, teachers, students, and the schools themselves is headed for a major makeover, with a sweeping shift from federal to state control over school accountability and student testing. The Senate on Wednesday voted 85-12 to approve legislation rewriting the landmark No Child Left Behind education law of 2002. Now widely unpopular and criticized as unworkable and unrealistic, the White House said President Barack Obama would sign it Thursday. The bill would keep a key feature of No Child, the federally mandated statewide reading and math exams in grades 3 to 8 and one such test in high school.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel has been named Time's Person of the Year, praised Wednesday by her magazine for her leadership on everything from Syrian refugees to the Greek debt crisis. Time also cited Merkel's strong response to Vladimir Putin's creeping theft of Ukraine, and on its cover called her Chancellor of the Free World.
A man accused of holding a college student at knife point in her dorm room for hours was arrested Wednesday night after a manhunt, according to Syracuse.com. SUNY Oswego said that university police officers had found and arrested Eric DeBrose in the city of Oswego after receiving a tip from a citizen. Charges against DeBrose are pending. Earlier Wednesday, officials issued an alert at the college that DeBrose was a suspect in an assault, was at large and possibly armed.
More than 120 Boston College students have fallen ill, and public health officials said Wednesday that norovirus was found at a Chipotle restaurant at the center of the outbreak. The Boston Public Health Commission said lab testing has confirmed the presence of the gastrointestinal illness, which causes nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, at the Chipotle restaurant in the city's Cleveland Circle neighborhood, near the Boston College campus. More than 120 students, including members of the men's basketball team, have now been reported norovirus-like symptoms.
Area motorists are once again seeing gas prices below $2 a gallon. GasBuddy.com, a website that tracks gas prices around the country, reports 10 stations in the Syracuse area that are charging prices as low as $1.97 a gallon. The last time prices dipped below $2 a gallon was in January. The average price of regular gasoline in the Syracuse area has fallen from $2.22 a month ago to $2.16. Gas is now 73 cents a gallon cheaper than it was a year ago.
Today's odd news of the day may be as odd as the lack of winter weather for this time of year. A sewer plant helped create a winter wonderland for a 3-square-mile area in central Pennsylvania. The National Weather Service in State College says a layer of dense fog mixed with condensation from a local sewer plant overnight Monday created a dusting of light snow in a small section east of State College. The Weather Service calls the process, quote, a micro-scale event, too isolated to be captured by local weather reporting stations. We think that kind of snow must really stink.
If you're a snowmobiler or snowboarder, you must think this weather really stinks. Here's Victoria Ross for the rest of the week's forecast.
Warm southerly air is again the dominant feature in the forecast today, and well, for the next several days. Today's high temperature of 55 degrees will be nearly 25 degrees warmer than normal. That same trend will continue right through the weekend into the beginning of next week. For today, we'll see more sun than clouds, and we can expect the same for Friday, with temperatures inching towards 60. That's right, near 601. A better chance of some occasional rain comes in for Saturday, but again we remain mild. Sunday, the mild air continues even with mostly cloudy skies. If the sun were able to peek through for any appreciable amount of time, we could threaten to break a record by hitting 61 degrees. A longer range view shows no chance of snow until possibly late next week. There is some data coming that shows a period of more seasonably cold temperatures heading our way late next week. The warmer weather is actually the subject of our What We're Saying segment. We asked people what they're thinking about this unusually mild spell of weather we're having and the lack of snow. That's the weather. I'm Victoria Ross.
I feel really good about there being no snow on the ground because it's nice out and that's a good thing.
Feels pretty good that there's no snow out, even though it's December though. It's not really light, you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a sad day at the Charles household without snow for this Christmas. Thank you.
I, for one, think it's pretty awesome that we don't have any snow in December. We've had some years where we're up to our eyeballs in it, and it's nice to have a nice break from it every once in a while. So I think it's pretty cool.
I think it's kind of strange because it doesn't really feel like December without snow, but I like it because it's definitely warmer.
Here's Justice Dan with the sports.
Mexico Wrestling dropped its first dual meet of the year to county rival Phoenix 46-33. The Tigers were forced to give up 18 points in forfeits with 3 different weight classes. Winning for Mexico were Jason Bond, Austin O'Reilly, Theo Powers, and Hunter Howland, who all earned the pins to keep the match close. Mexico swim team dropped a close meet to visiting Baldwinsville yesterday 95-85. Noah Galuzzo continued his dominance on the diving board, while the Tigers also got first-place finishes from Dan Mullen, Dylan Long, and John Ocker. The 400 relay team of Yost, Lawton, Ocker, and Mullen also finished on top. The National League champion New York Mets filled a key spot by obtaining second baseman Neil Walker from Pittsburgh for the pitcher John Neese, and the Detroit Tigers bolstered their bullpen by acquiring reliever John Wilson from the New York Yankees in Wednesday's trades at the winter meetings. The Arizona Diamondbacks, meanwhile, kept upgrading their rotation. A day after finalizing a $206.5 million deal for Major League ERA leader Zach Greinke, they announced their 5-player swap with Atlanta that brought all-star righty Shelby Miller and sent number 1 draft pick Dansby Swanson to the Braves. That's it for sports. I'm Justice Dan.
This calendar features tonight's monthly Board of Education meeting beginning at 6 o'clock at New Haven Elementary School.
A look ahead shows that next Friday, the 18th, ends the 5-week marking period for the second quarter.
Tomorrow night, Friday, The girls basketball team plays host to CBA with a tip time scheduled for 7 p.m. That's it for us today. Look for us again on Friday afternoon. For the staff and I and the Tigers, we thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.